Got a dream game rattling around in your head, but you have no idea where to even start? Good. Stop for a moment and picture it. That world, those characters, that gameplay loop you can't stop thinking about. Today, we're going to close the gap between that dream and your screen. This is your first mission. In the next few minutes, I'll walk you through setting up the exact professional developer tools you need on your Windows or Mac. We're covering it all. First, we'll download and install Unity Hub, which is your new command center for all things Unity. Then, I'll guide you through picking the right version of the Unity editor. This is a critical step, and I'll explain exactly why the one we choose is the best one for you. After that, we'll get your code editor set up, the powerhouse tool where you'll write the C# code that breathes life into your game. I'll show you exactly what to click for a perfect, seamless experience. And finally, the most important part, we'll link everything together and write a single line of code to make absolutely sure it all works. By the end of this, you'll have a pro-grade game dev environment ready to go. This is the real starting line. Let's get to it. Today, we're closing the gap between that dream and your screen. This is your first mission, setting up professional developer tools on Windows or Mac. We'll install Unity Hub, your command center, then pick the right Unity editor version, explaining why our choice is best. After that, we'll set up your code editor, where you'll write C# code. I'll show you exactly what to click for a seamless experience. Finally, we'll link everything and write one line of code to confirm it all works. You'll have a pro-grade game dev environment ready. Let's begin. Alright, first things first. Before we can install Unity itself, we need a crucial little tool called Unity Hub. Think of Unity Hub as your central dashboard for game development. It's a small app that lets you manage multiple versions of the Unity editor, organize all of your projects, and handle your licenses. Using the Hub is standard practice, because trust me, you'll likely need to juggle different Unity versions for different projects in the future, and the Hub makes that process painless. The process here is the same for both Windows and Mac. Open your browser and search for Download Unity Hub, or just go to unity.com/download. You'll see a big, shiny Download Unity Hub button. You know what to do. Click it, and the installer will download to your computer. Once it's done, find that installer file and run it. You'll be greeted by a standard installation wizard. The steps are super straightforward. Agree to the terms of service, and pick an installation location. Honestly, the default spot is perfect for most people. Click Install and let it do its thing. After it's finished, go ahead and launch Unity Hub. The very first thing it will ask is for you to sign in with a Unity ID. If you don't have one, no sweat. It's free and takes about a minute to create. You'll just need an email, username, and password. A Unity ID is essential for managing your free license and getting stuff from the asset store later on, so it's a required step. Once you're all signed in, you'll see the main Unity Hub interface. And just like that, your command center is operational. The Hub is standard practice. It makes juggling different Unity versions for various projects painless. For both Windows and Mac, search Download Unity Hub or go to unity.com/download. Click the Download Unity Hub button. Run the installer, agree to terms, pick an installation location, and click Install. Launch Unity Hub. Sign in with a Unity ID. It's free and quick to create if you don't have one. A Unity ID is essential for your free license and assets. Once signed in, your command center is operational. Now that Unity Hub is set up and you're logged in, it's time for the main event, the Unity Editor. This is the powerful engine where you'll build your worlds, design your levels, and create every interactive piece of your game. Inside Unity Hub, look at the tabs on the left and click on Installs. This is where every version of the Unity editor you download will live. To add one, click the Install Editor button. Unity Hub will now show you a list of available versions. Now, this screen trips up a lot of beginners, so listen close. You'll see versions with different labels, like LTS, TechStream, or maybe even Beta. For anyone just starting out, and for 99% of projects, I strongly recommend you choose the latest LTS version. LTS stands for long-term support. An LTS version is the most stable and reliable release Unity offers. It's been thoroughly battle-tested and gets bug fixes and support from Unity for 2 years, ensuring your project is built on a rock-solid foundation. TechStream versions have the newest features, but they're less tested and can be buggier. Alpha or beta versions are for testing stuff that's coming way down the line and should never be used for a real project. So, find the latest version with LTS next to it and click Install. During this process, the hub will ask which modules you want to add. This is important. By default, documentation will be checked. The most critical module you need is your code editor. Asterisk on Windows, you'll see an option for Microsoft Visual Studio Community. Make sure that box is checked. This will automatically install Visual Studio for you with all the right tools for Unity development. You'll also see other modules like Android build support or iOS build support. You only need these if you plan to release your game on those platforms. You can always add them later right from the hub, so for now, you can leave them unchecked to save a ton of disk space. Click Continue, accept any last terms, and the download will kick off. This is the biggest part of the install, so it might be a good time to go grab a coffee. This is where your Unity editor versions live. To add one, click the Install Editor button. Unity Hub shows available versions. For beginners, I strongly recommend the latest LTS version, which stands for long-term support. An LTS version is the most stable and reliable release, supported for 2 years. TechStream versions are less tested and buggier. Alpha or beta versions are not for real projects. Find the latest LTS version and click Install. During installation, the hub asks about modules. Documentation will be checked by default. The most critical module is your code editor. On Windows, check Microsoft Visual Studio Community for automatic installation. Only add other modules like Android build support if needed for specific platforms. You can add them later to save disk space. Click Continue, accept terms, and the download begins. This is the largest part, so it might take a while. And while that's downloading, if you're finding this guide helpful, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. I make in-depth tutorials just like this one, designed to take you from total beginner to a confident game dev. Subscribing is the best way to make sure you don't miss what's next. With the editor downloading, let's talk about the other half of this power couple, your code editor. This is your integrated development environment, or IDE. It's where you'll write all of your game's logic in the C# language. It's way more than a text editor. It's a spell book with powers like auto-completion and debugging that are deeply connected to Unity. For Windows users asterisk, if you checked the Microsoft Visual Studio Community box a minute ago, this part is mostly automatic. The Unity Hub will launch the Visual Studio installer. Here, you just need to make sure that game development with Unity workload is selected. This bundle has everything you need: the right version of the editor, the C# language tools, and the magic link back to Unity. If it's not checked, check it manually. Once you confirm, the install will proceed. Visual Studio Community is completely free for individuals and is the industry standard. For Mac users asterisk, the process here is a bit different. A few years ago, the go-to was Visual Studio for Mac, but that has officially been discontinued by Microsoft as of August 2024. The new standard, and what I strongly recommend, is Visual Studio Code, or VS Code. It's a lighter, faster, but equally powerful editor from Microsoft. First, go to the Visual Studio Code website and download it for Mac. Run the simple installer. Once VS Code is installed, open it and head to the Extensions tab on the left. You'll need to install 2 crucial extensions. 1. Search for C# and install the official one from Microsoft. 2. Search for Unity and install the official extension from Microsoft. This extension bundles everything else you need, including the C# dev kit and debugging tools. What if you already have Visual Studio on Windows? No problem. If you had it installed but didn't have the Unity tools, just search for Visual Studio Installer on your PC. Open it, find your version, and click Modify. Go to the Workloads tab, check Game Development with Unity, and click Modify again to install the missing pieces. It's more than a text editor. It's a powerful tool with auto-completion and debugging, deeply connected to Unity. For Windows users, if you checked Microsoft Visual Studio Community, this part is mostly automatic. Unity Hub will launch the Visual Studio installer. Ensure the game development with Unity workload is selected. This bundle has everything you need. Check it manually if not already. Visual Studio Community is free for individuals and is the industry standard. For Mac users, the new standard is Visual Studio Code, or VS Code. It's a lighter, faster, yet powerful editor. Download and run the simple installer for Mac from the Visual Studio Code website. Once VS Code is installed, open it and go to the Extensions tab. You'll need two crucial extensions. Search for and install the official C# and Unity extensions from Microsoft. These extensions include the C# Dev Kit and debugging tools. If you have Visual Studio on Windows, search for Visual Studio Installer. Open it, find your version, click Modify. Go to Workloads, check Game Development with Unity, and click Modify again. This next step is the digital handshake. It's absolutely critical for making the two programs talk to each other. We need to tell Unity that Visual Studio, or VS Code, is our official tool for editing scripts. If you skip this, double-clicking a script might do nothing, or worse, open it in the wrong program, and you'll lose all the powerful integration features. Once the Unity editor has finished installing, open Unity Hub, go to the Projects tab, and click New Project. For now, just select the 3D or 2D template, name it something like My First Project, and click Create Project. This will launch the main Unity editor. It can look intimidating, but we only need one specific menu. In the top menu bar, click Edit Preferences on Windows or Unity Preferences on a Mac. A new window will pop up. In this window, click the External Tools tab on the left. The very first option is External Script Editor. Click the drop-down menu. Asterisk if you're on Windows. You should see Visual Studio Community in the list. Select it. Asterisk if you're on a Mac. You should see Visual Studio Code. Select it. If for some reason your editor isn't in the list, don't panic. Just select Browse and point Unity to the application file manually. Once you've set it, there's one more pro tip. In Unity, go to Window Package Manager. Make sure the Visual Studio Editor package is installed and updated to the latest version. It should be version 2.0.20 or newer. This little package handles all the modern integration. You can now close the Preferences window. Your tools are officially connected. Skipping this means double-clicking a script might not work, or it opens in the wrong program, losing integration features. Once the Unity editor finishes installing, open Unity Hub, go to Projects, and click New Project. Select the 3D or 2D template, name it My First Project, and click Create Project. This launches the Unity editor. In the top menu, click Edit Preferences or Unity Preferences. In the new window, click External Tools. The first option is External Script Editor. Click the drop-down. Select Visual Studio Community for Windows or Visual Studio Code for Mac. If your editor isn't listed, select Browse and manually point Unity to it. Pro tip: in Unity, go to Window Package Manager. Ensure the Visual Studio Editor package is installed and updated for modern integration. Close Preferences, your tools are connected. Okay, we've installed everything and connected it all. But how do we know it works? Let's do a final, definitive test. We're going to create a C# script, write one line of code, and make it print a Hello World message. This will confirm that Unity creates scripts, opens them in the right editor, and that the code actually runs. Inside the Unity editor, find the Project window, usually at the bottom. This is where all your game files live. Right-click inside the Assets area and go to Create C# script. Name it something simple like Test Script. Now, double-click on that script file. This should automatically launch Visual Studio or VS Code and open your script. You'll see some template code. We're just going to add one line. Inside the void start method, type this exactly: debug log hello world. This code just tells Unity to print our message to its log when the game starts. Notice how the editor helps you with auto-completion? That's the magic of the setup. Now, save the file, Ctrl+S on Windows, CMD+S on Mac, and hop back over to Unity. Back in Unity, we need to put this script on an object. In the Hierarchy window, usually on the left, right-click and choose Create Empty. This makes a new, invisible game object. Select that game object, then drag your test script file from the project window right onto the inspector window on the right. You'll see your script appear as a component. This is the moment of truth. At the top of the Unity editor, press the big play button. Look for the Console tab at the bottom of the screen. You might have to click it to open it. If everything worked, you will see your message. Hello, world. We'll create a C# script. Write one line of code to print hello, world. This confirms Unity creates scripts, opens them correctly, and the code runs. In the Unity editor's project window, right-click inside Assets and go to Create C# script. Name it Test Script. And there you have it. If you see that message, your setup is perfect. You've successfully installed and configured a professional game development environment. You just took the most important first step from having a dream in your head to having the power to build it on your screen. So what's next? Your journey has just begun. The next step is learning the Unity interface and the basics of C#. In my next video, I'll give you a full tour of the editor, explaining what all these windows do and how to start making things happen. If this guide helped you, please hit that like button. If you ran into any trouble or have questions, drop a comment below and I'll do my best to help you out. And be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next part of this series. Welcome to the world of game development. I can't wait to see what you create.